Welcome back to SleeplessRonin Plays. It's the end of 2022, so as I've done in prior years, I thought I should sit down and do, or stand up and do, one of my year-end summary videos. I've done these the past, at least last year, I thought the year before too. I think the year before as well. And so I'm going to continue to do them. Again, as I've done in prior videos, I'm really going to try to keep it on a positive spin and look back at the things I enjoyed during the year and not focus on the other stuff that went down. It's just better to stay on the positive side because I like to end the year that way. I actually almost forgot about this, doing this whole video, because it's been that kind of year, so I really just felt like I should do one and I should make it a positive one. In that vein, I have created a list of 22 things, mostly in the 22 things that have entertained me this year. Movies, TV shows, video games, and board games for the most part. That's really what I'm going to be concentrating on. I'm not going to talk about the things that, I've gotten back into. Like I started playing Magic again. I started doing a few other things like that. Things that, yay, they've been fun. But they're not the new stuff. This is anything that came out in 2022 that I've really enjoyed, that's been fun or new or whatever. So with all that in mind, let's jump into the 22 things that were standout entertainment for me that were new in 2022. I'm going to start with TV shows. Now, I really, there are a bunch of shows I watched that I've already started watching, and unless I mention a specific season, I'm not going to include them. Some things that I began watching beforehand, and I just continued watching that's fine. Shows that I started watching, like My Hero Academia, which is several years old now, I'm not going to include in the list because while I am new to them, they're not new. So, show-wise, the first item on the list is The Peripheral on Amazon Prime. It's a sci-fi show with a very interesting premise. I've quite enjoyed it. I went in expecting just kind of like an average actiony sci-fi, and there's a lot more to it than just that. So I'm really enjoying the show, and I'm really hoping they renew it for a season 2. I haven't heard that they have yet, so here's to hoping. It's also interesting because honestly, are there any big named actors in the whole thing? I can't think of any. I mean, I think one of the people did something beforehand, but honestly, I couldn't tell you what it was because I obviously never saw it. So all the actors are fresh and new to me, and I really like it. I mean, it's very interesting, and I'm hoping to see more of it because I think the world they built is very interesting and definitely worth exploring more. Number 2, Moon Knight, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's on Disney Plus, starring Oscar Isaac. Wow, that was fantastic. That was one of my favorite pieces of Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff they've done in quite a while. I mean, that was just mind-blowingly fun. 6 episodes. Ethan Hawke is in it. Oh, come on, it's a roller coaster ride of entertainment. That one was fantastic. I absolutely loved Moon Knight. And continuing on with another Disney Plus show, Andor. Oh, that was truly some of the best Star Wars we've gotten since Rogue One. And the characters are so good in it. The way everything builds in that show, slowly over time, builds up to this that one is good. That one is really good. And it's really good on so many levels. It's good on the characters. It's good showing like how evil builds in a system. It's so good. Definitely, if you got Disney Plus, check out Andor if you're a Star Wars fan. That one has been phenomenal. Next up is probably the most controversial on the list, and I'm going to talk about The Rings of Power. Number 4, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. Okay, it was a beautiful show. A very stupid but beautiful show. And I will admit, I enjoyed it, thankfully, because I'm not super heavy into Tolkien lore, so I couldn't go, oh, this doesn't make sense in this time period. I don't have those details. I didn't need them. I still enjoyed the show. There were some errors or instances that occurred that really threw me. Like, the showrunners didn't seem to have a perspective of time sometimes. and that was a bit confusing. I mean, things be happening, and it was like watching the movie Dunkirk and beginning to realize that, oh yeah, the plane scenes in the beginning are now occurring at these boat scenes 3/4 of the movie. So why was that being done? It was very bad. Bad chronology is just annoying, and that happens in Rings of Power. Still, it was a very pretty show. It's a lot of fun, but you gotta turn your brain off for a lot of it. Now, on the other side of shows that really involve your brain, For All Mankind Season 3. Now, I have to admit, I didn't start watching For All Mankind until this year at all. I'd been wanting to see it, I just hadn't gotten around to it. And the show is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, all the way through there, it is so good. There's only a few tiny little things I wish they hadn't included in it, but that's just like side stuff that's really honestly not important-ish to the story. Whereas the show is truly fantastic. It is so awesome and moving. It's just worthwhile. And to have Season 3 come out in the same year that we finally are starting to go back to the moon in real life is amazing. It is just fantastic. It's. I watched the Artemis launch. I watched every time it got delayed. I am a huge fan of the space exploration, and so seeing us after 50 years finally once again sticking our toes into the cosmic ocean feels good. And this show makes you feel good about that kind of stuff too. It's an awesome checkout. It's on Apple TV Plus, so I imagine not a lot of people get that one as much as they get the other streaming services. It doesn't seem to be a hugely as popular of a service. Going to one of the more popular services, Stranger Things Season 4 dropped this year on Netflix. And holy crap, was that an emotional roller coaster. That one literally chews you up and spits you out. That one, you just feel for the characters so much. The beginning of that show almost broke me. That was horrific. Fantastic season. The whole show has been great. I mean, I honestly think that Season 4 really in some ways feels like it's got right back to the roots of the early season. So I'm looking forward to the finale in Season 5 whenever that drops, because now, yeah, I will admit, the characters age up a bit rapidly, but that's because there's so long between the stuff. So, it really highlighted things like the Satanic Panic from the 1980s. That was a really good historical detail they included in there. That was top notch, very good. That show is fantastic. I can't wait to see the last season. Whew. I wonder where they're going to go after that ending. That ending was a little bit rough. And the last of the shows I'm going to talk about, item number 7, is The Owl House Season 2B and 3 Episode 1. Since Season 3 is only going to have 3 episodes all total, we've gotten the first third of that. Oh, there's another emotional roller coaster ride. That is a wonderful show. Such a beautiful bit of animation, and you really got to look at what Disney was doing to say, hey, let's cancel the show. Then after they see what the YouTube viewing figures are for Season 3, Episode 1, yeah, they came and said, oh, we made a mistake. Well, of course you made a mistake. It's one of the best shows on right now. It is so good. Definitely worth watching all the way through. I mean, and yes, I know there were a bunch of other big name shows this year that I didn't cover. It's because I didn't get around to watch them. I haven't watched Halo. I haven't watched the other Marvel shows. I haven't watched Miss Marvel through yet. I know that mea culpa. That's awful on my part. I should be keeping up on Marvel a lot better. I didn't see Halo. I didn't see Miss Marvel. I didn't see She-Hulk. I didn't see Sandman, Willow, 1899. All these shows are in my tube watch lists. Trust me, I'll get to them eventually, but sadly I don't make it into one of these videos because I haven't caught them in the year they first started showing. It's kind of like Foundation. I watched Foundation this year, also on Apple TV Plus. Fantastic show. I loved it. Problem is, it was from last year, and yeah, it's not on this list. So that's the 7 shows I really enjoyed this year. There are other ones I enjoyed as well, but those are the ones that came to mind. Let's move into movies. Keep it up with the live action and animation stuff for a little bit. Movie-wise, let's start with, I think, was an underrated comedy of the year, and I think that was Paws of Fury: The Legend of Hank. It's a Mel Brooks movie, and I personally love Mel Brooks movies. They are classic, they're hilarious, and this one really is just a Mel Brooks movie. It's set in a animated feudal Japan run by cats, where there's a dog that wants to become a samurai. It's very funny. The jokes are on point. It's short, it's sweet, and it's great. I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson's in it, and it is really funny. I think it's an underrated comedy. I just don't think it's out there on a lot of lists or whatever. I think a lot more people probably enjoyed The Bad Guys, which I did enjoy also, but it's not on this list. Because honestly, The Paws of Fury for me was a funnier movie. Now to a much more recent film. Number 9 on the list is Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery or whatever. Yeah, I think so. I like the first Knives Out. This one was better. This one was really a lot of fun to try to put together the clues and figure out who done what before it happened. And I'm a bit prideful. I did nail down the main villain, the main culprit, relatively early on, because of some clues that dropped and went, oh yeah, that's just a little bit, and yeah, but still, I think they're very fun movies. They're quite interesting. I mean, I like murder mystery films. I watch a lot of murder mystery stuff. I've been watching a lot of Midsummer Murders, and I really enjoy Murdoch mysteries. So it kind of fits in the same kind of theme as those kind of things. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it's a Netflix film. So next up is probably my honest number 1 film of the year, Bullet Train. I went to this thing just as a throwaway. I thought, hey, you know what? It's Brad Pitt in a movie with Bullet Train in Japan. I want to go see what's happening. It was not. That movie was beyond what I was expecting. That was hilarious. Action, awesome action, great comedy, wonderful dialogue, bizarre, hilarious twists and turns and little events here and there. Hiroyuki Sanada's in it. Oh my goodness, that film was amazing. And I will see if I can't get away with this and play a little bit of some of the Japanese songs they did. They did I'm Holding Out for a Hero in Japanese and Staying Alive in Japanese. Oh man, I loved it. Those were so hilarious. So let's see if I can't put a little bit of those in or not. And if I can't, we'll be back to normal. If I can, enjoy a couple seconds of music. That's probably our couple seconds of music. So, after Bullet Train, let's go to item number 11 on the list. My number 11 was actually a movie that was quite early in the year, and that was Sonic 2. I've really been enjoying the Sonic franchise as they've converted to movies. I think they're really entertaining. I mean, the fun thing for me is, again, this is something I'm going into, like, only very minor knowledge of the lore of the Sonic verse, or whatever you want to call it. I do not have a lot of experience with that. I never really owned a Sega. I know. I never really owned a Sega. Still, I have found the movies be quite fun, and yeah, I mean, it was a really good one. I can't wait to see the third one, because they obviously hinted for the third one at the end credits of this one, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Although I think I heard rumors that Jim Carrey won't be in that one. That's fine. I mean, he makes a great Dr. Robotnik, but I think they can move on if they need to find another villain. Assuming there's other villains in Sonic, but yeah, whatever. Still, I really did enjoy that film. They're a lot of fun. I can watch the Sonic films over and over again, a lot like I can watch the Sing films over and over again. They just hit that kind of right note that they make they're a lot of fun. I can play them. They're great entertainment. Number 12 on the list is Top Gun Maverick. There aren't a lot of movies out there that are really able to replicate the same tonal beat as the movie that came before them. And considering how far apart Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick are, it's amazing how well they tonally hit the same beat. I was really impressed by that. In fact, the fact that both of them open up with the exact same shot, or the exact same explanation of what the heck Top Gun is, brings the audience back into the film. Makes you feel really good. And, you know, touch of a spoiler alert, I have to say this one though. The fact that Maverick also includes the F-14 Tomcat. Yeah. The F-14 is like my favorite aircraft, so that is just was amazing to see. And I was so thrilled to see that in the movie. It was amazing. So much fun. And the last movie, item number 13 on our list, is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I saw the other Marvel movies this year, or movies, yeah, there was Doctor Strange 2 and Thor Love and Thunder. But I'll tell you, Wakanda Forever is almost 3 hours long. It's like 2 hours and 45 or whatever, plus previews and that nonsense. I never once felt like I was out of the film. I was always in there. I was always involved and engaged in that movie. Very powerful, very good movie. And yeah, the first 45 minutes to an hour of that film really does feel like a memorial to Chadwick Boseman, but it works. It's really good. It's sad. It's moving. And it really helps set you in the mindset of the characters as like they're going through the trauma. And you're right there experiencing it with them. It's really good. It's a fantastic movie. I mean, just like the original Black Panther, this one just hits out of the ballpark, and I was impressed by it. Moving on, we're gonna go through some of my favorite new board games of the year. The first one I've got to put on the list, and this is definitely the most awesome board game I played this year. Coming in at number 14 on the list is Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. This took a little while to come out, because of course the whole pandemic and everything like that, and they wanted to do some more work on their HIPS plastic models, but this thing, if you follow my channel, you've seen the unboxing video I did for this game, and I tell you, this game plays so well. It is so much fun. The story is fantastic. The app narration is really good. The guy does mispronounce a few words, but it's really solid, really good. The combat is fun, it's risky, and it's always unique. I mean, I will never forget the end of one scenario when something completely off the wall happened and the scenario's over. I was like, oh, we didn't expect that. It was just so much fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm sadly only halfway through the game right now. We've had a little bit of time through the holiday season of not being able to pick it up and play. So I'm really looking forward to after the New Year rolls around, sitting back down and rolling through the rest of the scenarios with my friends. And I really cannot wait to finish that game out, because honestly, if we finish it, we might start up again because all of us want to try other characters out. We've only tried about half the characters in the game, and there are 12 characters in the game, so we got lots more to experience. After that, I picked up a non-Kickstarter game called Twilight Inscription from Fantasy Flight Games, the makers of Twilight Imperium, the same universe Twilight Inscription's in. Twilight Inscription is a roll and write, and I have only played it solo so far. I haven't gotten people to sit and actually play with me, but playing it solo, the game is a lot of fun and honestly challenging to really balance out what you're doing and preparing and stuff and making sure you're taking all the boxes and make sure you've got the stuff set before this happens. And it's a lot of fun. It's a really interesting game. I mean, honestly, 4 sheets. You got a special marker, like chalk pen to write on them with. So you need some paper towels to clean it up with afterwards. It's a whole lot of fun. That game has been fantastic all the way through. Next up, item number 16 on the list is another Kickstarter, Frostpunk. This one just recently came in. I just recently did an unboxing video for it. So either there'll be cards in the corner or at the end of the video there'll be links to my unboxing videos probably. Look for Frostpunk 1. And that game is hard. Even playing on like the starter society at the starting level, I have yet to win. Maybe I'm still getting the rules wrong, but so far I think I've played the same way a couple of times right now, and it's really hard to balance everything. I mean, maybe because I'm playing it solo, there's a lot more that I'm not paying. Maybe I'm missing some things or whatever that I'm not watching out close enough for. But it's interesting. It's a lot of fun. It really kind of gives you the old video game feel of Frostpunk the video game, only maybe a little bit harder. And so, yeah, that's been a heck of a board game. I'm really enjoying it. Definitely need to play it more. I'd like to play it with some friends also, but, we've got Oathsworn to get back to. Next up is Battletech Alpha Strike Box Set. I'm playing this in the board game area, and it really is more of a board game than it is a tabletop war game, although there could be some arguments for that. And I really am not so much onto the whole Alpha Strike thing as I am CBT, or Classic Battletech. So that's what I really got this for. It came with 13 mechs, a whole bunch of cards, battlefield things, some cardboard standy trees, cardboard standy buildings. So you got a lot in the box. And of the 13 mechs, you got 2 brand new plastic ones that hadn't been released in plastic before, of the Pouncer for the clans and the Wraith for the Inner Sphere. And that's the reason why I really had to get the box, had to get 2 of the box, was because I adore the Wraith mech. I don't know why I love that mech. It's so much fun. It's a speedy little medium with all pulse weapons, good armor. That's an awesome little mech, and I just love it. I always have. So the Wraith is the reason why I got 2 of that box, and I've been tempted to get a 3rd actually just for the Wraith. I know I don't need that many Atlases. I have so many Atlases. The last board game is another Kickstarter, and this one is item number 18 on our list, is Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I think this is one of the more awesome looking Kickstarters that came out this year for the quality of the components in the box. This thing was very well done, very well put together. It's quite awesome. It's a game I really enjoy because it's a very creative game. It's all about building up interesting castles and connecting the rooms and trying to get points off this and scoring this, while still, being this unique, fantastical castle layout. So it's a creative game that I really enjoy. And you can play it solo or multiplayer. I mainly played it solo recently, so there's that. But I do really enjoy the game. And the Kickstarter came with both the normal size and the colossal version, so it's a lot of fun. Let's move on to the last section for the video. And this is video games from 2022. Games I've really enjoyed on different devices. First up is Stray on the PS5. I mean, who doesn't love a game where you get to play as a cat and knock things down? Oh, look, it's a paint can. Knock it on the floor, walk in the paint, and leave painted paw prints everywhere. It's a fun game. Set in a very interesting world with like interesting embedded lore, so that's very fun and quite an entertaining game. And besides, again, you get to play as a cat. Who doesn't like that? Next up, we have Dorfromantik. This is a game on Steam that's really what I want to call a relaxation game. It's not like a game you're like trying to finish a story or run through some bosses or fight tough things. Or you're literally building a map out of hex tiles. And you get more tiles the better you build the map. If all the sides of a tile line up and match the other sides of the tiles, you get more tiles. If you fulfill objectives like making a river a certain length, you get more tiles. So the goal of the game is just to see how long you can keep laying out tiles. And it's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing, and it's just, there's something very satisfying about slowly building up this landscape with the sprawling cities and forests, rivers, fields, plains. Honestly, the only thing the game I think is missing is mountains, and I think that'd be a great expansion for it to have eventually, or an added-on thing, is just to have some mountains in the thing. That's what it's missing. I mean, beyond that, it's wonderful. There are train tracks and rivers you get to lay out, and it's just a relaxing, fun game that I've spent quite a few hours just relaxing, laying out tiles, click, 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 click. Very fun. Then the next Steam game on the list, item number 21, is Terraformers. It kind of scratched my itch for a city builder this year, since I didn't play nearly as much City Skylines as I'd like to. I haven't even picked up the Airports expansion yet. Bad on me. I love that game, but I really haven't spent so much time on it. And terraformers kind of scratch the whole city building itch. There's more than that. I got to terraform Mars. This goes all the way back to that thing I said about earlier. You know, season 3 of For All Mankind, Mars. This, Mars, so much fun. Certain goals to achieve. You know, building different buildings and cities and exploring the surface of Mars, terraforming Mars with bacteria and then plants and animals, and over time, it's just so much fun. It really scratched my city building itch, which I always have one of those. I love city builders. I mean, I'm looking forward to these other ones I've looked like that, like Float Sim is a one that looks like interesting. There's called Ixion, and some others like a sci-fi city builder and a fantasy city builder and Norse city builders and all the. I love city builders, and so Terraformers has been kind of my city builder of this year. So I've had a lot of fun with that one. Been enjoying it quite a bit. I did a preview of the demo a while back. I'll try to stick that at the end of the video as well, so you can check that one out. I like that a lot. I mean, it's in the same vein as Planet Base, which I've also spent a lot of time enjoying, settling and putting out colonies on other planets. Always a lot of fun. At number 22, the last time on this list, is my favorite game of the year, Horizon Forbidden West. I love the Horizon series. That is such a wonderful story, such an amazing world they've built. The characters are great. They're so much fun. I mean, honestly, the new characters are just Kotalo is a great character they've added into this. The whole thing, there's a lot of emotion in the game. It's so much fun. So much to explore. Different weapons to use. You have to like learn how to master new weapons, like spear, like a drill spear thingies you can throw, and these snapping discs, and so much fun. They made some of the weapons from the original game a bit weaker, which is kind of nice because it makes you highlight some of the other guns out there, or other guns. There are no guns. Some other weapons. Very creative, and they just recently announced the Burning Shores DLC, which looks like you're gonna be playing in California, now near the Hollywood sign potentially. So, and fighting a Horus. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. This has been a fantastic game. I loved it to bits. I really want to play it again, but I'm not going to start up a new game until the DLC hits, and then I'll jump in on a new game to play with the DLC. Until then, that game has to sit on the shelf. Let me get through some other games right now, because I know this DLC hits. I'm just going to play that one all the time again. That'll be the game I will go back to. That has been my year in entertainment 2022. 22 items of fun I've had this year, trying to ignore everything else that may have occurred, and that's it. If you think there's something that should have been on the list that wasn't on the list, aside from Elden Ring, please don't mention Elden Ring. I hear that one enough. I'm not going to go into it, but suffice to say, if there's anything else you think I missed, any shows you think I should have watched, any movies that were like standouts to you, leave them a comment below and let me know. I'll read them. That's the best I can say I can do. But hey, 2022, it's over. We're walking into 2023. May 2023 be a wonderful year for entertainment, and it looks like it is going to be. We've already got some announcements on the next episodes of Owl House. We've gotten some epically awesome looking video games that are going to be dropping early on. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Oh, I cannot wait for that. Jedi Fallen Order 2. Jedi Survivor. Oh, I'm going to play the heck out of that game. You know that one. I cannot wait. There's a whole bunch. Atlas Fallen. And I mean, that's just the ones that are scratching the surface. I'm hoping for things like Oxenfree 2, Darkest Dungeon 2, Frostpunk 2. On Steam, I'm looking forward to all of those. There's so many games coming out. Board game wise, we're looking at a bunch of other Kickstarters will be coming in. That should be fun to play. That you'll of course see unboxing videos for, including Darkest Dungeon whenever it deigns to arrive. And as of course, you'll continue to see Battletech videos. I have already shot and have begun editing the next TRO 3067 video, so that one should be coming out soon, hopefully. And then we'll be moving on. I've got some other Battletech videos coming up. I've got some ones about a deep dive on certain mechs, a explanation of more complex weapons and systems, because we start dealing into the later technical readouts like 3075 and beyond. We're going to start dealing with some weapons and technology that some players, admittedly, may not be familiar with. Because if you haven't played Beyond the Clan Invasion, then some of these guns start getting a little bit wonky and a bit weird. I mean, even if you played the Civil War, you still haven't encountered all the guns that are available in the time of the Jihad. So we've got a whole bunch of Battletech videos coming up. Don't worry about that. And as per usual, we'll be keeping up with the Battletech news. And, of course, we'll definitely be right in there on the ground floor. I won't be at Adepticon, but I'll be following the news as close as I can in March when the Kickstarter for Battletech launches. So it's a lot to look forward to this year. Hope you've enjoyed my channel so far. I hope you've subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below. Do the YouTube things. Ring that bell. Leave a comment. Like the video. And everything like that. And if you're watching this in 2022, let's look forward to 2023. And if it's beginning of 2023, Happy New Year, and may 2023 be good for us all. May the entertainment be bountiful. I've been SleeplessRonin. This is the end of 2022, and I shall leave you by saying my usual catchphrase, sayonara, and catch you next time.